Hey everybody, Daniel here, and I'm excited because today I have Ashley with me, who is a student of Infinity Code, and he has been off to a flying start with his business partner, and I'm really excited to have a chat with him, so you can hear his story as well and his perspective, what he's learned, things like that. So Ashley, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you very much, Daniel. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time out, and I know everyone watching this will as well. So to start off, I just want to ask you, and I like to ask this, to everyone that does this business, like, why did you get into this? Like, what made you want to build your own business?
That's a really good question. I guess I've always worked for an establishment or for a business myself, and I've always found myself very, very hardworking, very intrinsically motivated, and I've been someone who's always thrived for success, but always at the ultimate success of the people that I'm obviously working for. And I wanted to take that hard work ethic, I wanted to take that understanding, that intellect, and use it in a way that's going to benefit me, benefit me in my life, and benefit me in a more, I suppose, sustainable way, a way that I can govern exactly how my week goes. If I want to push it and work hard, I can. If I want to back down, I can. And it's all up to me, and it's all within my control.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So really, you wanted to feel that you're in control of your destiny. You can actually have a bigger impact on your results and success.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, how long did you work for others? And did that kind of frustration build up? Like you didn't feel like you were getting what you deserved, kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess, I worked for quite a big company, and it was very much a reward basis of a promotion. And you always felt like, okay, I'm getting a promotion. That's great. But actually the promotion was never really, linked with the amount of work I've done or had done. And I felt a lot of frustration towards the fact that perhaps members of staff that I worked with didn't perhaps put in the same ethic, but were getting exactly the same benefits, exactly the same salary structure. So for me, it was about, okay, what can I do, And myself and my best friend, we got chatting, and we had a few ideas. We had a few things that we started with, and the Infinity Code wasn't something we completely went with straight away. We actually had a few other projects we were starting with, and then nothing really stuck until we met, obviously, the Infinity Code and the training course, and that sort of was something we kept with, and we have since.
Nice. And you got started, is it about a year ago, or do you remember the month?
Yeah, I do remember the month. We started in April 2017.
Nice.
So obviously now we're June 2018. So it's just over a year, 14 months we've been in business.
Nice. And maybe kind of talk to me about the way you guys started. Did you just go through the program step by step? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do, or not at all when you started?
Yeah. To be totally honest with you, we had no idea of what we wanted to do to start with. We had no idea of the niche we were going to go into. We had no idea of the products we were going to offer. We literally threw ourselves at it, but had no idea where that was going to take us. We listened to the advice and went through the modules. We printed all of the slides. We watched the videos again and again. We'd ask ourselves questions. It was great having a business partner, because if I didn't understand something, I was able to communicate that, and he was able to do the same. So we were able to sort of talk about stuff, have meetings, do process meetings, process talks, strategize some of the stuff that we'd done, and then start to implement it. So the beginning phase was very much planning, and that was really important to us, that we got it right from the start, that we planned meticulously. We didn't just run straight at it and start spending money, or start, throwing ourselves at things we weren't too educated in. We wanted to get the education first, listen to the course, follow the modules, and then start implementing.
Gotcha. That's very wise, because what you choose really, as you know now, is like really everything. Like you have to choose the right product. That has to be a good opportunity. So that's really, really good to hear, because I think if you make the wrong decision early on, it can really harm you and just derail you and just, take your motivation away if you think it's not going to work. Well, it would have worked if you just did it differently, perhaps. So that's cool. And congrats on taking this step. Like that's something most people don't do, is like actually taking the step. And you mentioned you had a few other programs you were interested in as well, or methods. Like what made you actually decide to finally just focus on this?
I guess it was the relatability to our personal hobbies and personal benefits, because of the fact it's private label, because of the fact that we were able to choose products within a niche that we were particularly interested in. That really sort of appealed to us. And that's one bit of advice I'd say. You have to love the products and love the niche you're in. You have to totally be like, I want to live and breathe this, because you're going to get questions, you're going to get a lot of I suppose problems around that niche and around that product, and if you really know it, love it and understand it, it's going to benefit you so well. So that's why it appealed to us, because we could do something we really loved.
Yeah, it's fantastic advice, because now you've got all that energy naturally towards what you're doing. You're passionate about it, so you were able to find something that you guys both really are passionate about and were passionate about before you decided to make it a business.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, over the last 14 months, if I was to say that there haven't been problems or haven't been times when we felt demotivated or stressed or almost like you may be doing the wrong thing, I'd be lying. But having the fact that you love that product and believe in it gives you the strength to push through those days, and then you get to the success with it's just normally just after that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really fantastic. And you guys are based in the UK, right? So you're selling on Amazon UK. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, awesome. And across Europe now.
Cool. Yeah, I really think that's one of the best places to start. I always tell people, because it's really a great opportunity. Obviously, US as well, but the UK is my favorite store. So, did you guys really put a lot of thought and effort into the product itself? Obviously, you thought about what to sell, right? You went through the steps, you did the validation, everything we teach. But did you guys really? Yeah. So you did that, right? You did the validation and everything on a few ideas, maybe.
Oh, yeah. We did absolutely everything that the module teaches. Our product that we chose in the end was based, to be honest with you, on about 50 or 60 products that weren't right. We went through so many products and just, you might get through the validation stage, you might get all the way to the end, and then you're like, no, it's not working. The important thing for us was to keep in our heads that we would find the right one and not settle for something that was okay or something that might do, but to try and find something that really truly had potential. And then once we found it, it became obvious. When you've done the validation steps so many times for different products, and then you do find the right one, it's so glowingly obvious, and it's so clear to you that it's got to be the right one, and that's the wise choice for your business.
Yeah, exactly. Because spending that time and money on it upfront will pay massively, because when you have the right thing, everything changes. Like now you've got something that can really be tremendously successful and profitable for you. So that's fantastic. I mean, 60 products is a lot. So you guys didn't give up. It's just, really amazing. Like you were really persistent. So was it really the data that spoke to you when you found that product? Like it just popped?
It was a number of things. It was the data. It was the fact that we were able to leverage our own spin on the product. And I think you talk about that a lot, and that's very important. Seeing a gap where you can change a product potentially and make it your own, make it something that people are perhaps going to be able to buy, but more importantly, addresses a problem. So because we were doing a niche that we loved, because we were using products we knew and we had experience on, we could leverage a problem that we've come across in our personal lives, and we could address that with a product that we hope to develop. And then by doing so, address problems for lots of other people, which seems to have worked really, really well, to the point where some large organizations have actually said, we could probably use your product. It may help us in our particular field or our particular business. And that's been paramount to our success.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's really, going beyond what most people will do. But I think honestly, and this now, the product is everything, right? It's people tend to forget about that. I think it's about the tactics and the marketing, but really what you're selling is everything. That's the most important thing. And that's the product you choose to sell. Did you guys, obviously you're doing private labeling, right? But you were still able to kind of customize it a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we've diversified a lot. We've been doing private labeling, but we have done other stuff. We have, done building revenue for our brand that we've created through the private labeling. We've got a few different streams because of the education with Infinity Code. It allows you to open up and see potentially more opportunities within other fields. And that's really helped us. I mean, my business partner's been absolutely fantastic. He's great with data and he loves looking at product opportunities and strategies. And he's been fantastic at identifying some great opportunities for us. And the more he's been doing it, the better he's been at doing it. And we've been able to get better products and infill that into our inventory, which has helped for our capital, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
nice.
and I think with the private label, you have to believe in it, and you have to believe in your brand. And I think one of the key things was writing down what were our things we wanted to be known for. How do we want our brands to translate across to customers?
Hmm.
And for us, it was all about the high quality. It was all about maximum impact, all about, but the downside to that was that it takes a while to get going. It
Hmm.
didn't happen straight away. It wasn't like our product hit the market and then within a month we were selling, 200 or 300 units. It didn't happen like that. It happened very slowly.
Hmm.
But luckily we were able to see the long game and see the long ball. And I think that's going to benefit us in the future. Having that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the biggest secrets that I've learned is that everything compounds, right? So over time, the work you're doing now is going to pay off like a year from now, 2 years from now, really, like the big results are going to come then. So that's so important to keep that long game in mind. And that's why doing something like you've done is so powerful, because now you've got something that's going to last, that's going to grow. If it's unique, if it's somehow better, and like you said, solves a problem, I mean, that's just even more powerful. So it's really, yeah, great to hear. So congrats on that. I'm curious, did you source this from China or from the UK or
Yeah. Yeah,
China?
we stuck to the advice. We sourced it from the UK.
Okay.
If I'm honest with you, we looked at sourcing it from the UK, but the problem we had was a lot of the companies for our particular product claimed to be from the UK, but they were actually sourcing it from China too.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
putting their own tax on it, and then they were charging us.
Yeah.
And in honesty, a lot of UK companies don't want to deal with you unless you want to order 10,000, 100,000 units. And in honesty, we weren't able to do that. How many
Mm.
people, when they first start up their company, can commit to that kind of buy?
Yeah, exactly.
So we found China to be the best for us. We actually flew to Switzerland to meet our manufacturer. And
Mm.
that was a massive benefit. I mean, you talk about it a lot, Daniel, and it's really true. If you've got a chance to meet them, you cover so much more ground than you ever can do with phone calls or Skype or emails.
Absolutely.
And just having a sit-down chat with them, we were able to establish terms, commitments, payment. We were able to haggle a little bit, and we made a really good relationship. And they seem to be very upstanding of that, even to this day.
Fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Relationships are everything, right? In business.
Yeah.
And yeah. So they flew to Switzerland to meet you, or they were there doing something else.
So we researched in our niche the fairs around the world, the biggest
Mm.
ones to go to. And one of the biggest ones was in China, and then the second biggest was in Switzerland. And the one in Switzerland was like literally 3 weeks away from when we were looking. So we made a
Mm.
last minute, like, we're going to do this, we're going to fly there, we're going to just go.
Nice.
And it was so worth it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I love how you guys just take action, that's the kind of moment that can really define, your journey. Like, do you say yes, follow your instincts or not? So that's awesome. Did you,
100%.
yeah, I'm really curious, like about this, right? So you found the supplier, you were able to kind of tell them, right, what you really wanted for the product.
Yeah, I mean, the product they had was very similar to what we wanted anyway,
Mm.
and the problems that we had, we just couldn't find anyone that was offering it.
Mm.
So the manufacturer we chose, I mean, that was our big sort of model for choosing the right manufacturer, was to find a manufacturer that could do what we wanted for our product in the way
Mm.
we wanted it. And we found one that was, and they weren't saturating the market, and they were very, very undiscovered, if you like. So we
Mm.
felt like we hit a bit of a gold mine with it. And when we met up with them and said to them what we wanted from the particular product, they were like, yep, we can definitely do that. And actually, they offered us more in their catalogue, which we could later add to our brand, which
Mm.
would strengthen our original problem and our original solving of that problem.
Nice. So basically, they were already kind of innovating or creating solutions to this problem. And then you were able
Yeah.
to come and say, that's exactly what we want to do as well. Let's partner up and private label.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. And they've been great with it. I mean, in honesty, like I say, the first couple of months was quite rocky, but they were emailing us, how's it going? How are sales? What's going on? They were really into how we were doing over in the UK. And I really feel like they felt if we could represent, their product in the UK under our label, we were helping them as much as they were helping us. So
Yeah.
it was a mutually beneficial relationship. And I think they see it that way. And that's been great.
Yeah, yeah, because they're going to be more flexible, right, with MOQs and probably more eager to be fast when you order and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, little things like, just what they write on the customs forms can save you money.
Mm-hmm.
The information they give you can save you money. They can help you with imagery. They can help you with marketing, promotion. They've been really helpful, and that's really helped us. But we've helped them as well. I mean, we had one product we brought, and if we bought it by a certain time, the woman we were dealing with got a promotion, and she got like a bonus with her manufacturer. So we were like, yeah, you know what, you've helped us out. We'll do that for you. We'll buy it by this certain time. You'll get that promotion. And that's really helped us because she's kept in contact, and she's actually leaving the company, but she still wants to keep in contact, which I think is really nice.
Yeah. She can help in a lot of ways, right? On her own as well. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's fantastic. So did you have any, because obviously now you kind of found the supplier through a bit of a different approach, right? You guys actually met them right away and things like that. A lot of people are just looking for them on Alibaba and stuff. So I think a lot of people have issues in some ways because it can be tough, to find someone and source and everything. Did you guys have any issues with sourcing or not really?
We actually got a sourcing agent. We hired a couple of sourcing agents.
Nice.
We went outside of the Infinity Code, which, if I'm honest, was maybe a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Upwork and we hired a couple of sourcing agents. And in honesty, we couldn't validate the hours they'd claimed against what they'd actually done.
Yeah.
And when we went directly to the manufacturers, we actually got a better deal. And I felt like obviously what the sourcing agent was doing was adding their own tax on the situation, which is bound to happen. So I guess the trust is the biggest issue, right? So it's trusting someone you've never met, someone who's in a completely different country, to source a product for you, or a manufacturer who you've never got nothing to do with to produce the product and then to ship it to you. Trust was our biggest thing, and that's why we felt we needed to meet them. We needed to go there. So we did the Alibaba thing. We sourced it all through that. But then when we actually found the right manufacturer and we knew they were going to be at that fair, we were like, we need to go and meet them just to get a scope of the situation before we place this order.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's really good. Because I think, the sourcing agents, they can do that kind of stuff. So I think it's always important that you are ultimately dealing with the manufacturer, and the sourcing agent is just, like a bridge to bridge that gap and to help you connect with them and find them, but not ultimately like who you're placing the order through. So you have to have some line of communication directly with the manufacturer yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right.
Yeah, but yeah, awesome. So I guess, I'm curious, and everyone's curious, like how well is it going now? How many units are you selling? How has it kind of grown, from day one? Like, did you hit obstacles? Did it take a long time to really kick in? Like, what has that process been like?
Yeah, it's been stressful, if I'm totally honest. It's not been easy. It's been hard work. And I think the biggest problem that you may find, and even people watching this, even people on the courses, some people just are looking to buy a course and then get a really big selling business straight away. And it doesn't happen. And we've found that out. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of heartache. And the first few months of trying to sell our product were really difficult. We went down the brand side of things. We built websites. We got trademarks for our logo, for our imagery. We really threw ourselves at it, and it just wasn't converting. And we just couldn't understand why. The only way we could get it to convert would be to lower the price. But then, it was kind of a catch-22, because if you're not selling, it's hard to get customer reviews. If you haven't got customer reviews, it's quite difficult to sell. And that's where the sort of whole giveaway kind of works, because you give them away for obviously, if you can afford it, free, if not a very, very lowered price like you recommend, and then you can build the customer reviews. Once the customer reviews are there and people are happy with the product, the sales start to come in. And what we found was we've made a couple of key relationships with partners who have boosted our product. So they're within our niche and they actually add value to our product. As soon as we did that, we saw sales really go up. We're talking one product we have wasn't selling anything for 30 days. We're now selling 2 to 3 a day of that product, which is not mega amounts, but it's good for what it was. And it's in a very competitive market, but it's something we needed to add to our brand. So it's trying to look for avenues. If you're not selling, if you're struggling to sell that product for any number of reasons, Mostly it's just down to people not trusting the brand, not trusting who you are. I mean, if you're going to buy something, if I go out tomorrow and want to buy a phone, there are certain manufacturers I know I can trust and I can buy that phone. As soon as a new phone comes out, it doesn't matter how great they may seem or the technology behind it, you don't have that trust there. So that was really important for us. Once we started building that trust, now we've started to see quite a significant amount of units go through to the point where we're now starting to come to restock, and we're trying to make sure our restocking period means we don't run out of products before we have to restock. And that's been difficult as well.
Yeah, that's a challenge in of itself, just to stay in inventory, because when it starts to grow, it can really happen fast. And when you're a young new business, like you need to manage your cash, and then even the biggest sellers have that issue, because as you're growing, it will be a challenge at times to manage that. Okay, so maybe elaborate a bit, if you don't mind, on that, like how you were able to partner with people on helping you better the product. That's really interesting.
Okay, so with our product in particular, it's very, very keyed into sustainability and global global problems. And we were able to find a cause who actually helped what we were trying to address within our problem. So they added massive value, and we negotiated a partnership whereby we gave a set amount of money per product sold. So it was a charitable organization that we've established a relationship with, and if you buy our product, we donate a certain amount of money per product to this charitable organization who are actively trying to help around the world, and they're really well known within our country. And that's given us a tremendous amount of kudos and a tremendous amount of trust from our customers that we're trying to do the right thing. We set out, and our mission statement was to have products that were of the highest quality and addressed some form of sustainability issue. And being able to do that and then find someone who's an organization who deals solely with that and work together with them has been paramount to our success.
That's fantastic. That's beautiful. I love that. So you also were able to be creative and kind of think outside the box on your particular product, what really was needed. But I think it's clear to me like that you are able to put yourselves in the shoes of your customers as well and really look at their needs, their problems, and then obviously, in completely the same way, look at why would anyone buy our product? Like if I was them, why would I choose to buy this product versus another one? And like you say, you need that trust, you need that credibility or something. It doesn't have to be much, right? There's a couple of reviews help a lot, but something, some reason, and you need to convey to the customers a reason to buy and pick your product. And now you've got some good reasons, it seems like, going on with partnerships, with reviews, things like that you're building up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like the problem is, you're always, unfortunately, you can't please everybody. And when you do get in a situation, you may get a bad review. You may get someone who's not happy for some reason. And we've had some obscure reasons for people not being happy. I mean, we're talking things we can't even understand. But the important thing is to address it. The important thing is to take action very quickly. Try to establish what the problem was for that person and how you can remedy that if possible at all. Sometimes people just want to complain or just want some form of reaction, and we get that. So it's trying to establish, how much effort you put into that and how much you don't, but try to, as best you can, treat every customer with exactly the same quality in the customer service. Fantastic, and I think that's what paramount to us as well in our success is the admin side of it. It's very easy to look at the product, look at the selling, look at the statistics, look at the model of kind of continuously every 2 weeks evaluating. But one of the key pushes that we had was we were going to drive a really customer-centered kind of business where the customers felt part of something. They felt part of the movement. They felt part of an action, part of an idea, part of creation. A lot of the things we do social media-wise is to get that engagement and get them to be part of our business. Where should we go next? What product should we offer next? Where should our business take us? And I think if people feel part of something and they feel that they're moving with you, that works in your benefit.
Absolutely. So you guys have been able to use social media or maybe other influencers or something like that to kind of build that base a bit.
Yeah, exactly that. We've been really lucky in the sense we've met a couple of really key influencers within our niche, and they've been able to review our products And it's always scary when you ask someone to review your product, right? Because you don't, I asked them to be honest. They were going to be honest. They write for fairly big blogs, and they were honest, and it came back glowing. And that was really, really positive for us. And that was a big step for both of us in the sense that it gave us the confidence what we're doing is right, but a big step in the sense that we were able to then celebrate that and tell our customers about it and say, look, we've got people who know the brand, they know the niche, they know what they're doing. They're telling us it's a good product. So that's good.
Yeah. Now you're getting the reward, from what you did right at the beginning, really creating an awesome product that's good and that people will like, and not just sourcing, whatever to make money. You're really looking at, helping people, which ultimately is what's going to give you the rewards too, by helping others, right? So that's beautiful to hear, and people recognize that. Like, influencers can see your product and say, wow, this is really cool, this is amazing, and you're providing a lot of value that way. I wanted to ask you if you don't mind kind of sharing like some of the numbers that you're starting to see now.
Yeah, sure. So we had round about, I'll take you from December all the way through to today, because the growth has been astronomical. So we worked really hard all of last year up to December. We were seeing something around 300 to 400 pounds in sales a month, which anyone can tell you is not enough. That's changed. From February, we got about 1,200 pounds. March, we broke 5,000 pounds. April, 6,500 to 7,000 pounds. May, 13,000.
Nice.
And this month looking up as well. So you can see there's a definite growth pattern there. You can see what we're doing is actually starting to work. But I think you said it earlier. It's doing all the back work, the back end. At the start of the business, it was pushing all of that work. We didn't see the reward straight away, but that's now reaping this year, and we're seeing that come back around.
Absolutely. And it's a common thing. Like, anyone that's truly successful long term has done something extra, like created a really good product, found a real problem, and then you're building a brand around that. You mentioned, do you have more than one product or just one?
Yeah, we have 2 products in our brand, but we also have a deal with another company who have developed a range for our brand as well, and they charge a bit on top. So we can probably offer on our website around sort of 6 to 7 pretty quality products there that we're making money on, and it's sustainable, and we've actually had sales come through on. And that's been the key. The key for us has been going a bit wider and trying to offer slightly more and a higher range. And then that's been able to see a bit more growth on that.
Nice. You're really looking at your market and seeing what problems to solve and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, within our niche in particular, the problem was quite obvious. The bigger problem was obvious, but it was whittling that big problem down to something we could tackle, because the big problems, unfortunately, are outside of our scope. As much as we'd like to solve that, that's not something we can do. But on a much more minimalistic level, we were able to address something that we could directly solve right here, right now.
Wow.
And I think that's important. I think it takes thousands and thousands of ideas before you get that one thing that goes, yes, this is what we're going to do. And myself and my business partner, Ryan, have been very good at that. I mean, Ryan will sit there for hours and hours and hours planning and planning and planning. And then we'll wordstorm it and we'll look through it and go, yeah, no, that's the one golden nugget. For every 100 bad ideas, there was one good idea, And that's been important. It's important to not get demotivated by that, because when you're trying to be creative and when you're trying to think about your product and think about your brand, or even when you're doing the validation and the research, it's very easy to get downhearted, to feel like the market's saturated. There's no way I can do this. It's not. There's no opportunity there. There is. You just got to keep going through it, and you've got to keep believing in what you're doing, and that ultimately comes through. And I think what's really helped us, and Ryan says it a lot, and Ryan, obviously your business partner, in the sense that reading the right books, educating yourself with the right people, affiliating with the right people, talking to the right people who can help you grow, and having the right ethos and the mental attitude has helped us so much. And it was something I was very dismissive of, but my business partner, Ryan, was like, we need to read these books. They're going to help us. And to be honest with you, they have. Some of the key things that they teach, have definitely given us strength in some of the times of definite darkness.
Yeah, and it's a compounding effect again. I think you read a book, and then you're like, well, nothing has changed, nothing has happened, but it will serve you down the line, and it's going to make you more money. It's going to make you more successful. It's going to make you do better things and make better decisions down the line, more so than like right now. So I think that's the truth of it with knowledge and your mindset and things like that. That's fantastic. You guys really have understood what it takes, I think, and now you're starting to reap the rewards, and it's exciting to see what happens, how this continues to grow, and how you're able to manage it all, because now you obviously have to continue to learn and continue to grow and evolve, and there's going to be things that are potential pitfalls when you're a big seller too, which you guys will encounter. But I'm excited for you. You've done the hardest part now, which is to get going. And now it's starting to be really fun, I assume, for you guys to see this happening.
Yeah. It still feels like hard work, if I'm honest. Every day we wake up, we have the motivational quotes that I think everybody reads. Keep you going. But yeah, you're right. You can start seeing what you're doing is working. And I think it was important. One of the most important things for us was we wrote a list of things we've achieved in the last 14 months to look back retrospectively and go, okay, 14 months ago, we had nothing. We had no business, we had nothing. Now what have we got? And when you look back and realize how much you've achieved, it's incredibly motivating. It keeps you going and goes, yeah, okay, we are there. And I think you're right. A lot of the hard work has been done. Now for us, it's about scaling. It's about, trying to employ staff, trying to outsource as much as we possibly can so we can run a business and not work in the business, is what we're trying to do. Yeah,
exactly. So I guess you feel even more juiced up, more motivated at this stage than you were like 10 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think, at this stage now, we're sort of looking at our targets that we set last year and sort of almost laughing at them going, well, wow, we've achieved that. And what's next? And Ryan's really keyed into setting goals and objectives. And there's a lot of schools of thought. Some people really believe in it. Some people really don't. All I can say is it really works for us. Having on our desk the goals that we want to achieve by 3 months, by 6 months, by 9 months, by a year, quarterly goals has really helped us.
Yeah, and I think the key, like you say, is believing in it. Because if you write it up and don't believe it, and you don't really follow that and aim for that, then obviously it's not going to really matter. But if you really are dialed in, and that's really what you're going to do, now it's critical to know where you're going. So. Yeah, I mean, it's just such an exciting time for you guys, because getting to where you are is, probably more work in a way than doubling or tripling from here on out, because you have the momentum and you've, been creative. You've done whatever you had to do to really come up with something great, find your place, and now you can really build on that brick by brick. It's, just really proud of you guys. It's amazing to hear this.
No, we thank you and yourself and Ryan as well. Thank you for all the training you've given us, and thank you for, being there. And we sent a couple of queries in. You were very quick to get back to us, and we really appreciate that. You've been really helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome. I really, it makes my day. This is why we do this, is because it is so enjoyable to help others create value in this world and build something for themselves. And the way you guys are doing it is something that I'm really proud of, because that's really the best way to do it. So kudos to you guys on that. I don't want to take too much of your time. Let's see, we've been on here for quite a bit, but I want to still maybe ask you, if you don't mind, like maybe 10 more minutes or something, but I want to really ask you, is there any key, as you've shared quite a bit already, but are there any key moments or key lessons that really have defined you guys that have been big things that you think people should be aware of?
Trying to think now.
Yeah, I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Sorry about that, but if there's anything you can.
No, because so much happens, and you kind of roll with it. You kind of daily things happen. I guess understanding Amazon's policies, understanding Amazon's restrictions, understanding Amazon's listings, how they work, and understanding Amazon as a whole was really key for us. And in honesty, we did make a mistake, and it did cost us. And I think, I'm sorry, that's my phone going.
Yeah, no worries.
I think that's the problem with that, is that it it can cost you if you don't understand how Amazon fully work and their operations. Understand how to sell, but understand how they work and everything that goes on within that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's been really important to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think that's something that people underestimate is just the relationship, with Amazon and how important that is, and to understand that and work with them, instead of just assuming that it's like they don't care what you're doing, but they really do care, and you need to play. It's their building, it's their house. You need to also play by their rules and understand how that all works.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as well, like picking who you listen to is really important, because when you start your business, when you start anything, within Amazon, people will try and give you all the advice under the sun. I mean, obviously you've got the training course, but obviously you will source external factors and external people and societies. There's lots of different groups that are available for Amazon sellers that give you information, but you have to be selective into what you listen to and selective as to what you choose to action, because it can cost you if you action the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
If you follow the wrong advice, it can cost you for sure.
It does, yeah, because that's your time. This is the most valuable asset you have in your business, and I think that's the thing. Like it's mostly about not wasting your time. Like if you know what to do, you can do that and then get the results versus spin your wheels, and that really drains like your motivation and your belief in what you're doing and that it actually works and that kind of stuff. So that's key, I think. Anything else you can think of, like anything that has come up or anything you've learned perhaps with marketing or something?
Yeah, I mean, I guess with marketing, it's difficult because obviously you're selling through Amazon. With the campaign manager, we found test and test and test again, split test as much as you possibly can. One of the biggest pitfalls with the campaign manager is your ACOS can go through the roof if you don't understand fully how to properly leverage the campaign manager within Amazon. And that was a big thing for us. I mean, we found just by subtly changing a couple of things, subtly changing the title every now and again, split testing that, subtly changing some of the images and rotating that, subtly changing some of the bullet points and the description listings, and then running campaign managers around that has seen our ACOS change drastically from something in the region of sort of like 5%, 4%, all the way up to 268%. So obviously 268%, we obviously shut it down very quickly because we're obviously losing money. But it was a good test of what didn't work and what did work. And I think the lessons we learned through that were worth the money lost, if you like. It was only 2 units. And you know what, we learned a load about how to campaign manage correctly. Yeah.
It's all about learning at the early stages what works. So I'm assuming you're using like the KPIs and stuff to look at that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we use the KPI tracker, obviously, and that's obviously been, paramount to us as well. But I think we've learned a few different hacks as well, a few different things that you can kind of do to kind of leverage Amazon's automation system. Because I know obviously within the KPIs and within the Infinity Code, it's very much about manual and only using the search terms or the key terms that are particular to your niche. But we found actually by using Amazon's automatic campaign listing in a certain way, you can leverage a lot of sales, and the ACOS drops a lot just by doing a few different things and being a bit clever with how you structure it.
Nice.
And Ryan was very good at that. Ryan came up with this idea and he went with it, and our ACOS was 4.9% on the units we sold for that. So That was really worth doing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. So you're able to figure out how to like leverage the automatic campaigns to get more ideas and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. And you have to be creative and you have to be willing to try things, right? And every market is different. Every product is different. But that's fantastic. Really good insight.
Sorry, just the last thing I'd finish on is just like one size fits nobody. And I think that's important. You have to be flexible and adapt your own model, your own size. Take the Infinity Code as guidance, but shape your own business model to your particular niche and your particular demands and your customers.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this has been extremely insightful, Ashley. I really appreciate the time again. And I think there's a lot of key takeaways here. But what I love the most personally, I would say, is really like how diligent you guys were, persevered. You really looked at what you were doing and took it seriously, looked at your customers, actual problem, having a really great product that solves a real problem that's better than something that's already out there. So you really have done those things that really matter in the long run, and now you're starting to see the rewards, which is so exciting. And I think obviously you're going to be rewarded really well now in the coming months and years if you continue to take this approach and expand. So congrats again, and thanks so much for taking the time. Is there any last words? I know you've said a few things, but is there anything else?
No, we're all good. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Ashley. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you again soon.
No problem. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.